Good afternoon, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I'm coming to you with Capriole by Chili from the Cagey Constraints Pack, another puzzle that I do not have a record of me testing, but I'm pretty certain I did test this one back when we were first playing with this pack. So I don't have a record of it, so I don't know how long it took me. Again, been sitting on these puzzles for way too long, and it's time to start looking at them. So, this is just a pure killer. So normal Sudoku rules apply in every box, in every row, and in every column. The digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition, and digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and digits may not repeat within cages. That's what we got. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So we've got a 23 cage. So the maximum digits you can put in a cage are 7, 8, 9. But 7, 8, 9 sums to 24. I need to reduce one of those digits by 1 without getting a repeat. The only digit I can do that to is the 7 down to a 6. I can't put an 8 in either of those, so that is the 8. So there is an immediate digit. Can I do that trick anywhere else? Not obviously. Is it these 11 cages? How can I make up 11? I can use 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, or 5, 6. There's 4 ways of making up an 11 cage. But what didn't I use then? I didn't use a 1. You can never put a 1 in an 11 cage. So there's a 1 in one of those. Okay. $12 cages. 12 cages are low because the minimum you can put into 4 cells is 10. If I don't use a 1, I end up with 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5 is 5 plus 9 is 14. It's too high. There must be a 1 in every one of the 12 cages. So I can't use 1 in any of those. So 1 is in one of those 3. Now, I can't put a 1 there. 1 is in one of those 2 cells, but 1 is in one of those 3. Now I can't put 1 in a 20 cage where the other 2 would have to sum to 19. So 1 is in one of those. Okay. But I have to put 1 in these cages. So I can't put 1 here and I can't put 1 here. 1 is in one of those 2. But I can put 1 in a 9 cage quite easily. I think this is about ones. No, because I can easily put 1 in a 13 cage. What about 2 in a 12 cage? So if I don't use a 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 3 is 4, 4, 5 is 9. I'm at 13, so I must use a 2 as well. So there's a 2 in these. And I can't put 2 in a 20 cage because the other 2 digits would have to sum up to 18, and you can't do that. The maximum you can use is 8, 9, which is 17. So this is actually a 1-2 pair. And the same is true here. This is a 1-2 pair. Okay. Actually, I don't think they're the 1-2 pairs I'm looking for. Let's do it this way. There's no 1, 2 in any of those cells. There's no 1 or 2 in any of those cells because of the 1-2 pair, and there's no 1 or 2 in any of those cells because I have to put 1 and 2 in the 12 cage. Where's the 1 and the 2 in this column? That's a 1-2 pair. And the same, I think, is true here. There's no 1 or 2 in any of these cells because I've got the 1-2 pair, and there must be a 1 and a 2 in the 12 cage. There must be a 1 and a 2 in this 12 cage. In this column, where's the 1, 2? They have to be in those cells. So these are 1-2 pairs, but they don't line up. There's no 1, 2 in any of those. If this is a 1 or a 2, that's a 6, which would force this. This can't be a 1 or a 2 for the same reason. I can't put 1 and 2 into a 13 cage, but I can put 1 and 2 down here. But there is a 1 or a 2 in here, there's a 1 or a 2 in here, there's a 1 or a 2 in here, there's a 1 or a 2 in here, and that forces everything. But Is it the 8 cage that breaks that open? These 1-2 pairs, now that I've found them, I think is... Can I do more with this colouring? One of these is a 1 or a 2. Is it 3? So how do you make up a 12 cage? You've got 1, 2, and then the other digits have to sum to 9, but you can't use 1 or 2. So it's 1, 2 with either 3, 6 or 1, 2 with 4, 5. So these are different cages, because if this is 1, 2, 3, 6, I'd have 3 and 6 in here and I couldn't do 3, 6 down here. So if this is one version of a 12 cage, this is a different version of a 12 cage. But this could be either and this could be either. So that's actually not helping me. But I do know that these are different versions of 12 cages. One is 1, 2, 3, 6. One is 1, 2, 4, 5. Right, you can never put... I think this is the trick. I can't put 9 into a 12 cage. The other 3 cells would have to sum up to 3. That doesn't work. I can't put 8. The other 3 cells would have to sum up to 4. And if I put 7, the other 3 cells would have to sum up to 5. But the minimum is 6. You can never put 7, 8 or 9 into a 12 cage. These are 7, 8, 9. And you can never put 7, 8, 9 into a 12 cage. These are 7, 8, 9. That's a 6. So this is the 9. These are 3, 4 and 5. Because 6, 7, 8, 9. But if this isn't a 6, this can't be a 1 or a 2, because if this was a 1 or a 2, these would be 1, 2, and this would have to be a 6. So this isn't a 1 or a 2. So this is a 1 or a 2. Keeping the colouring was useful. These have to sub to 12, 9, 3, 8, 4, or 7, 5. Oh, that's mean. But this is 7, 8, 9. So it's either 9, 3, 8, 4 or 7, 5. This is 3, 4, 5. So but this is now a minimum of 3. So the minimum here is 7. If this is 5, these would have to, oh no. But the maximum you could put in here is 6. But I can't make it 6. So this is 3, 4 or 5. Because the maximum you could put in here is 6 if this is 1, 2. But this can't be 1, 2. But I could do 5, 3, 1 or 3, 4, 2. But there has to be a 3 in one of these two. So there's no 1, 2 or 3 over here in this 20 cage. There must be a 7, 8 or 9. But I can't have 2 of 7, 8 or 9 in it. So these are made up of 1 of 4, 5 and 1 of 7, 8, 9. No, wait, that can't be right. There's a 6 in the cage. So there's a 6 in the cage is what I've learned. Because there's no 6 anywhere else in the row. So there's a 6 in this cage, and then 2 digits summing to 14, which is either 5, 9... Well, it has to be 5, 9, because it's 2 digits summing to 14, but I have to use either 3 or 4. Sorry, I have to use either 4 or 5, but if it was 4 getting to 14, it'd have to be 410. This is 5, 6, 9. So there's no 9 here. Oh, but I can't put 9 here. There's no 9 here. This is the 9. This is 5, 6, taking 5 out of there, which takes 7 out of there. The 5, 6 means that these are 3, 4, which is 7. So that's the 2, that's the 1, that's the 1. Which means that is not a 1. Putting 1 down here, meaning that's 2 and that's 1. This is fascinating. The 9 takes 9 out of there. But now 2, or this 1 makes this 2 and this 1, and these have to sum to 7. They can't be 1, 6. They could be 2, 5. They could be 3, 4. 1, 2. This is 3 or 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There must be a 1 in here. There must be a 2 in here. Oh, this is an 8-9. So there's no 8-9 here. There's no 8-9 here. This is an 8-9 pair. I'm in the wrong mode. 6 is in this cage. This 6. Put 6 in this cage. It was this 896 from the very beginning was putting 6 in this cage, which resolves it. I probably didn't need to do all of this at all. This is 2 6. But I know there's a 1 in it. So it's 1 6, and that's 7 plus 2 is 9. I need another 3. This is the 1 3 6. So this is the 2 4 5. 1 3 6. So these are 1 2 3 4 5 6, 4 5 7. So 1 2, this is a 3, and 1 2 3 4 5, these are 6 and 7. That's so cool. The 1 is looking over saying that's not the 1. The 7 is looking over saying that's not the 7. If this is the 4 5, that's a 3 and that's a 4. Yeah, I'm not sure. 8 and 8. Oh, this has been here since the beginning as well. Where's 8 in this row? 8 can't be in the 12 cage. So 8 is here. And now 9 is in one of those two because of that 9. Which puts 9 up here. Can I put 9 in the 13 cage? These would have to sum to 4, and without a 1 I can't do it. There's no 9 in the 13 cage. If I put 7 in the 13 cage, I need 2 digits to sum to 6, which would be 2 4, because I can't use 1 5. Where's 7 in column 2? Can't put 7 down here because there's a 7 in the box. Can't put 7 here because 7 is over here. So 7 is in one of those two. Okay. Have I done with the grey? I think I'm done with the grey now. I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. This is really cool. So 8 is in one of these two because and all I know is 9 is in one of those. So the minimum I can put into the 13 cage is 2 3 4, which is 9, and I've got so much. Well, actually, it can't be 2 3 4 because that would break this cell. So the minimum I can put in here is 2 3 5, which is 10, which still gives me a lot of freedom. But those, nah, if it was 2 3 5, I could. 2 3 5 doesn't work because what would this cage be? I couldn't use 2 9. I couldn't use 8 3. I could use 7 4. No, it does work. Okay, I'm going to find something else. I've got to find something else. I feel it's got to be this 13. There's no 8 in it. If I put a 7 in it, it's with 2 4. This becomes a 3 and this becomes a 4. Okay. If there's no 7 in it, there's a 6 with 2 digits that sum to 7. Which couldn't be 1 6. They could be 2 5. They could be 3 4. 3 4 5 doesn't get me there. There must be a 6 or a 7 in here. because otherwise I'm at 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5 is only 12. There is a 6 or a 7 in here. If it is 7, it is 7, 2, 4. And if it is 6, so one option, I'm going to make some notes here. One option is 2, 4, 7. If it's got 6 in it, because I can't use 8 or 9. Because if I use a 9, I need the 1. If I put a 6 in it, the other two digits have to sum to 7. Can't use 1, 6. I could use 2, 5. I could use 3, 4. So it's either 2, 5, 6 or 3, 4, 6. So they're the possibilities for this cage. Do any of those break? Now remember, this is these, so I'm just going to write them in. 2, 4, 7, 2, 5, 6, 3, 4, 6. Now I'm marking those in purple because they're not the digits that can go in the cells. They're the options for the cage. Do any of those break? I don't know. And there's no common digit between them. Is it this 11 cage? Nine is in one of those two. 9 is in one of those two. That's not doing anything because I've already got 9 restricted to these cells in that. It does mean that one of those is a 3. Because if that's a 9, that's a 3. But if that's not a 9, no, that's not true. Hang on a minute. If that's a 9, that's not a 9. That becomes a 9. Those both become 3. Oh, that does work. Because that would be a 3. But if that's... no. I don't know. This is a 2, 3... No, that's not... I'm going to move those to my note sheet. 2, 4, 7, 2, 5, 6, and 3, 4, 5. Because I just was making a quad out of them, and that's not completely not true. Actually, oh, no, it's where's 1 in this row? I can't put 1 here. I can't put 1 anywhere in this box that's not in the 12 cage. And none of those can be a 1. I can't put 1 there. That's the 1, which means that's the 2, which means that's the 1, which means 2 is in one of those two. So this is either 3, 6, 3, 6, because there's already a 3, or this is 4, 5. This is a 3, 4, 5. But that hasn't given me the 2 down here. The 2 can't go in any of those cells. Because if I put a 2 in here, I'd need a 9 with it, and that doesn't work. And I can't put the 2 down here. So the 2 is in one of those. 2, 9 here. Does... No. No, 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 no. I can't put 2 in here. If I put 2 in here, it would go with 9. And 2, 9 here would mean that 9 can't go there or there. Put 9 in this, which means it would need 4, which means I'd need to put a 1 in this cage. 2 is not in here. 2 is in one of these two. 2, 9 would make that 9. 2 here gives me freedom. That's really cool. If this is 2, this is 9. If this is 2, I can't put 9 in a cage. So 9 would have to be down. So 9 is in this bottom row. Because if this is a 2, this has to be a 9 to make the 11 cage work. If this is 2, I can't put 9 into an 11 cage, and 9 would have to go in one of those two. 9 is in one of those, so 9 can never go in any of those. So 9 is in one of those two, because I can't put 9 in a 12 cage, making that the 8 and that the 9, which turns around and says that's not the 8, that's the 8, and now 8 is in one of those, which means one of those is 3. That's a bit crazy. The 1 here takes the 1 out of here. Oh, this is the 1. It's been that for a while, but I don't know that it does much. Can I tie this cage over here to these cages? I'm not seeing how to do it. But now I can't put a 2 in this 13 cage. So the minimum I can put into the 13 cage is 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5 is 12. I have to increase one of those digits by 1. The only digit I can increase by 1 and stay without repeating digits. This is a 3, 4, 6 cage, meaning that's a 2. 1 and 2 mean that these sum to 3. I need another 5. That takes 2 and 5 out of here. That becomes the 4. This is the 2, 5. The 2, of course, makes this the 5 and this the 2. That 2 logic was gorgeous, forcing this up to 3, 4, 6. The 4 looks back saying that's not the 4, so this is 3, 6, or 7. The 5 looks back saying that's not the 5. That was stunning. But now I can't put 3, 4, or 6 in this cage. So this 11 cage could be 9, 2. It can't be 8, 3 because I don't have a 3 anymore. It can't be 7, 4, and it can't be 5, 6. This is the 9 and the 2. Oh, that's so cool. So now 3 is in one of those two. The 2 is no longer here, the 2 is here, and this is either 3, 6, or 4, 5. If this is 3, 6, 3 and 6 go up here. And they would go in those cells because of this looking down. So if this is 3, 6, I couldn't put 3, 6 in any of those cells, and I couldn't put them there. These would be 3, 6, and this would be 5, 8. And I'm not seeing a problem there. If this is 4, 5, these would be 3, 6, and these would be 6 and 8. And these would be 3 and 5. I don't know. How is this not... Oh, this is now a 2 by Sudoku. I've got 4 2s looking into the box. This is very strange. Oh, this is a 1-9 pair because 1s and 9s looking in. This is a 1-9 pair. And the 9 looks up making that the 1 and that the 9, which looks down saying that's not the 1, that's the 1. So this is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7, which means that's not the 7, this is the 7, which makes that the 6 and that the 7, which makes that the 3, taking the 3 out of there. This is 4, 6. Not yet, but the 5, 7 takes 5 out of there, and 5 went with 4. Wait, but when I took 3 out of... These have to sum to 9. So there's 6, 3, or 4, 5, but I can't put 5 here anymore, so there's no 4 there. This is the 6, this is the 3, this is the 4, 5, giving me a 4, 5 pair in the row. The 6 makes that the 4 and that the 6. When I removed an option from here earlier, I obviously didn't clean up properly. 1, 2, 3, these are 4 and 9. This 5 makes this the 6 and this the 5. But this 4-5 pair maybe? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3, 6, and 8. These are 3, 6, and 8. So, but I can't put 3 in here because the 3 has to go the opposite the 8 and the 8 has to go in here. That's so cool. This is a 6-8 pair. That's the 3. That's the 6. So this is a 6-8 pair, which means this is 3 and 5. Because if wherever the 6 goes, the 5 goes next to it. Wherever the 8 goes, the 3 goes next to it. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, and 7. And the 4 looks down, making that the 7 and that the 4, which makes that the 5 and that the 4, which makes that the 5, and the 5 comes out of those. The 7 makes that the 4 and that the 7. 1, 2, this is a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9 go into those. Nice. The 6 looks down, making that 9 and that 6. The 9 looks up, making that 4 and that 9. Still no. The 8 looks down, making that the 6, which makes that the 5, which makes that the 3 and that the 8. The 5 looks up, making that the 7 and that the 5. I'm now playing with pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are a 6-7 pair. And the 6 makes that the 7 and that the 6. These, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, and 8 go into those. So this is a 3 or a 4, giving me a 3-4 pair in the row. So that's the 5, making that the 7, making that the 8, making that the 9. The 8 looks across, making that the 7, taking 7 out of there. But this 5 makes that the 8 and that the 5. The 8 makes that the 9 and that the 8, making that the 4 by the 12 cage, which makes that the 3, which makes that the 4, that the 3, that the 4, and the 4 of 5 makes that the 3. And that is Capriole by Chile. Wasn't rock. This is one of the few, but there's been a lot of Rock Rat Zero puzzles I've recorded recently. That is a beautiful Chile puzzle. The 1-2 concept to break in and finding the positions of some 1-2 pairs and then placing the restrictions. And then this trick with, I can't put 2 in here because that will put 9 into this cage, which can't have it because of that 1, which is forced by the positions of the 1-2 pairs. That was beautiful. Tricky, but beautiful. Love the puzzles in this pack, and I feel so guilty, just so terrible for having sat on them for so long. But I'm getting through them now, which is cool. Thank you everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.